Hello everybody, how's it going? How's your day today? I got a fun weapons class for you. I sent an email this past week basically saying, hey, I want to get your feedback, I want to see what you guys are interested in. Also, I gave a couple of updated things, some events coming up, stuff like that, as we start to get more into the rhythm of training. And I got a lot of great responses back. If you did respond, thank you. If you haven't responded, please go ahead and do so. That helps me out tremendously. I can't tell you how much it does. I found out that, some kids are struggling with online training. I see that some kids are really thriving with it and they need certain things for them to do even better, and that's what I need. A lot of times it feels like I'm trying to catch fish in a barrel. I'm closing my eyes and I'm just hoping I grab the right thing. But if you guys need something, you guys need something specific for your training, something to make it easier, then you just telling me is half the battle. Me being able to see the problem is half the battle. So thank you guys for responding to me. It means a whole bunch. If you haven't responded, feel free to go ahead. Even if all the answers are, no, we're happy, that helps me too. Then lets me know I'm doing the right thing, so I shouldn't be changing too much. With all that being said, one comment that I got quite a bit of was, I am so confused on the online classes. When are they happening? When aren't they happening? What is going on with them? I'm going to be honest with you, this is something that we've worked on a lot the past couple of weeks. How do we make this consistent? In this time of inconsistency, how can we make online classes consistent? And it's a very hard thing for us to do. Just because a lot of things are changing right now, and they don't change, they don't tell us it's changed 3 weeks before. The changes are almost instant, and we just have to adjust to it. And when that happens, you'll see changes in the schedule online, stuff like that. So our goal is, no matter what changes, to keep things consistent going forward. Hopefully we'll have a permanent schedule through like September or August, I don't know. But we're going to have something consistent for you by next week. With that being said, let's get started with some bow staff training. Now, I was thinking maybe I want to do some finger rolls today, but instead I'm going to do my favorite move of all time, the triple spin. Maybe it's not my favorite as much as I think it is, right? But yeah, we're going to do the triple spin. This is a new bow staff that I just grabbed to be using to make things a bit easier on myself, but obviously I'm not super used to it. So a triple spin looks like this. And it looks super complicated, and if you try it out right now, it's probably going to come out as a sideways figure eight, which is close, because the sideways figure eight is 2 spins, but triple spin is 3 spins. However, to get to this triple spin, it's going to seem complicated, but once you get it down, it's going to be one of the easiest things in the world. So first, to get started, let's talk about what that spin is, right? So we have a top and bottom of our bow staff. A spin happens when part of the bow staff, either the top or bottom, goes around into one circle, meaning that it goes up, down, up. So that's one spin. I want you to do 10 spins. You need to mark the top of your bow staff, mark the top, to the left side of your body. You're in a circle, bring it around. Now, people say this in a couple different ways on which way you're going with your spin. Sometimes I've heard left or right, or clockwise or counterclockwise. How I always angle spins is away or towards you. Away is where the top of the bow staff is going outside your body. It's going away from your body. So if this is my head, this is the top. As I start to spin, it's going to get farther apart until it comes back in to come back up. So it starts the spin going away. Now, you probably did this 10 times. Since you got it 10 times, I want you to do it on the other side. 1. And again, we're moving this away from my body. Away. Away. 10 times. This is relatively simple, but if you don't have this part down, even if you're like an amazing bow staff person, I've been working with Jason, a kid from UMac, on this move for a while now, and a couple weeks ago he let me know, like, I'm struggling with this bit on my left side. I'm struggling with it just a tiny bit. The key is you just need to know the away and how to spin properly. So even if you've done bow staff for a long time, you're a black belt, doing these spins is important. It's going to help you out in the long term. So now that you got that down, we're going to combine those 2 spins into a figure eight. I'm going to go away from my body, away, 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 away. So normally I teach this by, rowing the boat. However, today I want you to think of it as top of my bow staff, away, away. If you get this down well, I want you to start speeding it up. Use your wrist and not your arm to do it. If you use your arm, it's going to look like this, or like this. If you use your elbow, it's going to look like this. And then if you use your wrist, it's going to be really close to your body, and it's going to be more here. Also, you'll see that I'm opening my hand up. I'm making what I call the okay grip. Okay, it's okay, right here. And I'm letting the bow spin. So when it's centered, I grab, but when I start my rotation, when I start to bring it away from my body, I go into this grip so it can flow smoothly. At this point, you're probably doing fast figure eights. That's great. If you're under the age of, I would say 15, you have a tendency to go straight into that really fast without thinking your moves down. Slow it down. Keep it slow, because if you're not thinking about your moves, you're going to get to the triple spin and you're going to get frustrated. All right, so now we're going to go inverse figure eight. Inverse figure eight. Now the inverse figure eight works, instead of doing an away spin, we're going to do a forwards, towards you spin. I'm bad with words. So when I'm here, I'm going to spin towards my body. Towards my body. Top of my bow staff comes in towards me and up. Now, only one side for now, and just keep working on it. See how fast you can get it down. Towards my body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you've probably done it 10 times. Now, go to the other side. And again, top of the bow staff is going to come towards your head. Slow this down. If you're going really fast, you're going to do this, and it's going to be wrong. You're going to go away because you're doing what your body feels is natural, not what is correct. Slow it down. Make sure the bow is coming towards your head, by your shoulder, and back up. 1, 1, 1. Now 5 times. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So now inverse figure eight, going back and forth. 1, 2. There. So I'm going towards my head. Reset. Other side. Towards my head. Reset. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I sometimes teach this slowly, and then you get it down, and then I start to speed it up really fast. Do this slow. If you can do it really fast, that's great, but ask yourself, are you doing an inverse figure eight, or are you just resetting into a regular figure eight? If you feel like, man, this is very smooth, this is very easy, you're probably doing a regular figure eight, and you're going so fast, and you're like, is it going towards my head? Is it going away? I don't know. Always ask yourself, is it going towards my head? If you can't answer the question, slow down. Is the top of the bow staff coming through? If I were not to move it over, would it hit my head? Now I'm moving it over, so obviously it's not hitting my head. But if the answer to that is no, if I moved it forward, it would hit my knee. If I didn't move it over, it would hit my knee. Then you're doing a regular figure eight. All right, so you got this inverse figure eight down quite well. We got your regular figure eight down quite well, and I realized both of these things we've already done before. Now we're going to start to get into our triple spin. Now our triple spin revolves around kind of combining both of these moves, combining both of these spins, and then adding one extra arm motion to help us get there. So I'm going to put my bow staff away, or not away, but to my side. This is to the side of my body. If I'm here, there. I'm going to move the bow staff away from my head. If I don't move it behind my back, I should be hitting my knee, not my head. I'm going to bring it around, around. Notice how I bring it away from my head, and then I go around my body. If you feel like you can't bring it around, your wrist is locked, then you need to turn your wrist slightly in. So if I do it this way, 1, there. Do it 10 times. I'm on 2, so 3. You may be getting there. 4, 5, 6. Don't look at the bottom of the bow staff. Just work on the top of your bow staff. Bottom of your bow staff should be coming in front of your belt. But you shouldn't have to worry about that, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, once you got this one spin, you're gonna flip your hand upside down and have your thumb pointing towards the floor. So my wrist is shown forward. If you want to make sure that it's doing correct, your thumb is down. So I'm here, flip. For right now, we're not gonna worry about that spin in the back. All we're gonna do is this. Shh. 10 times. 1, 2, top of my bow staff goes to the bottom. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Now I want you to go here, and the second you start to turn it, I want you to bring your shoulder forward so it comes to the front. So again, I'm here, flip, shoulder forward. Sideways. Shh. Shh. Let's do this 5 times. We've already done the so I know you got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now from 5, I'm going to flip my wrist up and bring it back to center. Once I'm there, I'm just going to bring it back. So I'm going to flip shoulder forward, bring it up, backwards, and reset. Try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it a bit faster. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2. Go. 3. Speed it up. 4, 5. You're struggling with this. You're like, man, Master Nick, I just cannot get this down. You're probably overcomplicating your head. All I'm doing is flipping my wrist. If I had we'll say a laser pointer taped to the back of my hand, I'm gonna point it this way. Then I'm gonna point it back to this wall, and then I'm gonna reset. So this wall, this wall, this wall. 1, 2, thumb down, 3, 4. Shh, 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 shh. Try to constantly do this motion. By the way, if you do have a triple spin down, I should have said this at the start. This is all too easy. You should be practicing with your left hand, because I guarantee you could get this better with your left hand. Reset it, bring it back. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, you got that down well. I want you to make an okay grip. Okay grip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when you do this, what you'll notice is the bow will start to move in more of a fluid motion. When I'm here, I'm going okay grip. It's gonna move fluidly, and that's what you want. If I don't have my bow staff, keep doing this as I talk. My hand's gonna look like this. I'm kind of doing like the hand movement things that you see children do, right? You're here, it's that same motion. All right, so we're getting to the point of where we're gonna be doing our triple spin. You're gonna put your bow staff to the side. You're gonna rotate. 1, 1, and then you're gonna bring it to the front. Rotate once, bring it to the front and do this. Reset. 1, 1, upside down, up, back. 1, 2. Now, I don't want you to do and try to do it continuously yet. So you'll see me, there's no point where it seems like it stops, you see it fluent. We're not at that point yet. I just want you to go away from my head, spin behind my back, flip my wrist, bring it to the front, reset. 1, 2. 1, 2. If you try to do it fluent now, you're gonna end up doing this. Which is not a triple spin, it's a figure 8. So let me do a triple, this is a triple spin. You'll do this, which is just a figure 8. So just work on those 2 parts, get it down well, really perfect it. And then I'm gonna tell you one thing, I'm gonna show you one thing to make this smooth where you can do it continuously. There's just one secret to make it continuous. Don't try to guess it, don't try to figure it out, just get this part 1 and part 2 down. If you don't have that part, you can't do the secret. All right, keep it up, keep it up. By the way, it's good to see Ryan here, Isabella here, Kaylin here. It's good to see all of y'all here. I don't see Sean Greenhall, although he is doing his Chodan Mo stuff, so I'm sure he's got some counts to do. All right. Also, I know that the Kimmins watch later at a later time. So practice it a couple more times. If you're struggling, feel free to let me know in chat. I pulled it up. I have a little bit of a limited setup today. Normally, I have like this big screen TV to make it work. Today, it's just my laptop's computer lying on the ground. All right. Ooh, there I am. So, now we're gonna move on to that fluid motion. Now, once we get this down, I'm gonna start to show you some cool tricks that you can do with this, meaning taking your triple spin, adding it into a toss, taking your triple spin, do it behind the back, windmill into a triple spin, doing a toss into a triple spin. There's a lot of cool things. This is one of my favorite moves. So you'll hear me call it the triple spin, but within the triple spin, there's a move that I call the whip. Now real fast, I want you to ask yourself, what is a whip? I know you guys have seen it before. A whip is where you got that like little hard piece at the end and then a huge rope and you bam, whip it out and it makes a huge crack at the end. See, what happens with that whip is you take an initial motion here, you make it fast. Now, since that's a little bit smaller and the rope's very long, that builds up. So it starts off small and then that motion goes up, down, until it hits the end and it snaps, right? Until it reaches that final moment. So a whip, what I call it with my arm, works like this. The initial parts here is gonna move forward. Then my hand's gonna take that motion and continue. So even though my shoulder stopped, my hand's gonna move. And then the second it hits the end, I flip. So I'm going one, snap. If I do this sideways, my shoulder moves, one, snap. I want you to set down your bow staff and work on that motion. If you want to have it even better, take your wrist, instead of having it up and down here, flip it to the ground as much as you can. It's going to feel weird, almost like you're putting yourself into an arm bar. That's fine. Shoulder, whip. Shoulder, whip. Again, shoulder, whip. 1, 2. If you have this down, use your left side. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Sideways. 1, 2. Loosen your arm. Make it smooth. You don't have to make this really tight because then it's no longer a whip. People don't use whip on like a solid iron bars. It needs to be fluid. Not fluid, but you understand what I mean. It needs to be loose. It can be a hard material, but it still needs to be able to flow with motion. Or you're going to need a lot more strength to force it to be flowing with motion. Now try doing it back and forth. So you're going to go 1. You're going to take your hand, keep it up, flip it upside down. 2. Hand up. Look at all these places here. Flip. All these places. Shh. Shh. Slow motion. 1, 2, up. Reset. 1, 2, up. Other direction. 1, 2, up. Back. 1, 2, up. If you have this down, other hand. This is weapons class. When are we going to do weapons? Now. You're going to grab your bow staff and do that exact same motion. And that's your triple spin. I spin all these places, spin all these places, 1, 2. I find the triple spin is the best way to get to the whip. But at the end of the day, you don't need a triple spin to go into a whip. If I'm going here, I don't have to do that extra spin behind my back. I can just whip forward. Although, if you know a whip, all it is the whip with an extra spin behind you. 1, whip. Shh. You got this down. You can use your left side. 1, whip. Let it spin. Remember, the bow staff is going away. Shh. Here. So I'm spinning it away from my head, top of my bow staff. Away. Once it's here, I'm going to let it continue until my hand's all the way facing the floor. whip forward, hands towards the ceiling, spin all the way to the floor, and back. Left side, spin, palm facing the floor, whip. Now understand that I've been doing bow staff since like the age of like 5. I've been doing this for a very long time. So I'm probably making this look a lot easier than it is. You're probably not going, all right, let's do this. I can't wait to do a toss and spin it around my neck and go through all these things. You're probably at the point right now where you're like, okay, that's fine. That's where you start. That's where I started. But the more you practice, the better you get. What I find so cool about bow staff, about nunchuck, about all weapons, is very few amount of times when you see somebody really, really good at bow staff, do you think, I couldn't do that move. Or, if that person taught you that I'm not capable of doing that move. All the weapons moves you see, you are capable of doing. You are physically capable of doing. The only difference is either knowledge or practice. Right now, it's not knowledge. You guys are probably doing a triple spin just fine. It's just practice at this point. I do this well because I practiced a ton. Not because I know more than you, not because I'm bigger than you. It's because I practiced. The difference in skill gap is nothing but practice. It's not knowledge, it's not strength or how smart you are, it's just how much time you put into it. If you guys ever search up weapon videos like competitive, world's best bow staff, everything that you see them doing is things that you probably could do too. Now there are going to be a couple moves where you don't have the knowledge yet on it, but the strikes, the tosses, the spins, they're probably all moves you've learned before. They're making it look really easy and smooth and concentrate, maybe in ways that you can't do it, but that's just because they've worked on it a ton. So, we've worked on our triple spin for long enough. I'm now going to show you one move into the triple spin. Understand that there's a lot of things you can do out of a triple spin or into a triple spin. I can do a triple spin into an inverse figure 8. I can do a triple spin into a toss. I can do a hip roll into a triple spin. I can do a toss into a triple spin. Well, that's an inverse triple spin. Don't worry about that. We'll get there eventually. But today, I'm going to show you how to do this. Behind the back into a triple spin. So I'm rolling it behind my back here. Now, I taught this 2 weeks ago, so if you haven't seen the video, that's okay. I'm going to teach it real fast. If you did see the video, you're probably going to do this quite smoothly. Start with your hand out here, just like how we started with our triple spin. Take the top of your bow staff, you got your thumbs up. You're going to flip your thumbs down behind your back, here. Now, I gave myself a little bit of a unicorn horn. I call this the unicorn spin for that reason. Now I'm going to take my other hand, put it below it, and I'm going to punch out. Now I'm going to take my thumbs up here, and all I'm going to do is thumbs down, but instead of tucking it behind my back, I'm going to put it behind my head. Here. Then I'm going to reset. Thumbs up, thumbs down, behind my head. Thumb, 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 all this. Now, what's really cool about this is if you get it down, you can start to add tosses to it. You can toss it into your other hand to make it smoother. Add your okay spins to make it go a bit faster. But I would say the coolest part about that spin is you know where it ends. It can either end here with the motion up, or it can go here with your motion down. If it's coming up, you can do any sort of upward motion move, meaning any motion that's moving towards your head, right? So if I'm doing this sideways, it's coming up, it's coming towards my head, I can continue that motion outwards. Now, if it's coming around, so I do my full spin, I can do any motion where the bow staff, top of the bow staff, is moving away from me. So I can do my figure eights, or the thing we talked about today, to start the triple spin, it moves away from your head, you can go into your triple spin. So anything where the top of the bow staff is moving away from your head, you got it. So let's try this out. Start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, down, triple spin. Now when you bring it back behind, reset. 1, 2, 3, 4, grab, top of your bow staff out, triple spin. It's not going to feel super smooth at first because you need to end here, right? And to get there, it can be a bit complicated. Sorry, the pollen in the air has been killing me recently. So when you're doing this, it's important, southern accent, that you do have a little bit of a pause at first. So you understand you're here, so you can go into it. If you don't pause and you don't really get what the motion is yet, you're gonna get here and you're gonna bam, and you're gonna hit yourself in the face. You'll get there, you'll get there. So you're 1, 2, triple spin, there. Then you can add your tosses out of it, wrist rolls, neck rolls. That's what's so cool about the triple spin, right? I can do that move into the move, and then I gotta move out of the move, then I gotta move out of that move. So I just created a whole combo there off of just that triple spin motion. So, yeah, if you have any questions, now would be the time to ask. If you're struggling with this, Master Nick, I just cannot put this down. Ask me now. You got about a minute to ask me that question before I end the live stream. Also, rewatch some of those Black Belt classes or Black Belt Club classes. You'll be able to get quite a bit of information out of those in terms of bow staff. Next week is going to be our final week for bow staff. I'm going to teach you guys how to create your own creative form. It's going to be quite fun. All right. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about striking combos. We're going to talk, because we've already done striking combos, flair. We've already done a lot of flair. We're going to talk about stepping and stances and how you can combine it into one kind of set piece. So that's going to be my favorite class of bow staff. After bow staff, we're going to be taking some time and we're going to do some nunchucks. So next week, bow staff forms. The week after that, teaching nunchucks. All right, it doesn't seem like we have any questions here, so I think it's time for me to end class. Peace me. Chariot. Yeah. What's our goal? Black belt excellence, sir. I will see you guys next time.